trying to get the running game going, but when you have the RPO options, you know, sometimes maybe the run, you can get a decent gain on the run, but, you know, you throw the ball. So how do you find that balance between, you know, throwing the ball in those situations and trying to get the run game going?
Anytime an RPO is called, my job is to read a certain defender. If he stays flat-footed or plays the run, it's my job to dish the ball out to the playmakers on the outside. And any time that he is focused on a slot or an outside guy or whatever the RPO tag is, it's my job to give the football. So we do a really good job, I think, of calling balanced plays and, you know, run plays, pass plays. We do a really good mixture of that. So, you know, I don't think there is it's not hard to base when to give a football or throw a football because I'm coached to know what to do each play.
Any plays that you think about that kind of stick with you from last season that you wish you had back? And Akil said he thinks about there was a comeback, third down he could have had hopes certainly
In this last game?
back against Washington last year.
Yeah, I remember them all.
Yeah.
Oh, back against Washington.
Yeah, Washington last year.
Okay, you're talking about Washington. All right,
Yeah,
all right.
when you guys played Washington last year,
Yep.
Akil had 2 or maybe 3 plays that he wishes he had.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, do you have any such plays?
Yeah, I missed a inside fade throw to the right side of the field to Jalen, I believe it was. I think I threw a fade pretty bad to Nikhil on one time. Then I think I had a couple reads that I missed in the run game last year. But for the most part, I mean, this is a really good defensive football team. You know, one of the top defensive programs in the country. They just do a really good job of just staying disciplined in what they do. They're not gonna let you throw the ball over their head. They're gonna try to keep everything in front of them. So it's just about finding the spaces, finding the holes in the defense, and just being patient and take what they give us, because this isn't going to be a throw the ball, post balls, deep crossers. This is going to be dink and dunk, methodical, get down the field, just because that's the way their defense is structured. So.
When you watch Washington, what makes Taylor Rapp such a special safety?
His motor is very high. You know, he doesn't really get tired that often. If he's tired, you don't know he's tired. You know, really it's collectively they just are really good in the secondary. Obviously, you know, they got Byron back. He's really a big-time player. JoJo's he's been in this league. He knows this game. Obviously, Taylor, number 5, he's been here for a while. 2-3, he's back. So they're DBs, man. They're comfortable with each other. They speak the same language. They play the game together, which is huge. I mean, you think about having an OL that plays for 3 years together. They're going to be on the same page about things. So having a secondary that they've all been there, they know the system. You know, they just do everything the right way, disciplined. So, but Taylor, man, he just high motor guy. He's around the ball every single play, and he's one of those guys that is just a difference maker on the field.
Manny Wilkins was talking yesterday about sort of the internal debate between trying to get the first down with higher percentage plays versus opening up the game a little more on vertical shots. What's your sort of perspective on that philosophy, looking back at maybe how you guys pick approach the third quarter?
I just do what I'm coached to do. Whatever Coach Likens asked me to do, I'm going to do. You know, I think that the third quarter, if we just throw a hitch, if we just throw, something simple, and that's on me. I gotta do a better job of obviously making the right decision. I'll never blame a 3 and out. I'll never blame any. I can't blame anything on a coach, because a coach is never purposefully trying to call a bad play, if that makes sense. So he's never trying to put us in a situation where he thinks we're going to mess up. So you can't – everybody makes mistakes. I make, a crap ton of mistakes a game, handful of mistakes here and there. So, you know, I understand. He told us he wishes he had a couple calls back. Heck, I wish I have a couple throws back. You know, I wish I have the one post that I threw to Nikhil on 3rd and 12, I think it was. it was a good ball. It, you know, kind of went to Nikhil. The DBs were all around, whatever, but I had a crosser open coming across the field that I should have hit. And those are mistakes that can keep us on the field, that can be big-time plays. And, you know, if I could have been special, I could have been great if I don't put my elbow on the ground, one, you know, that I got sacked or whatever. So things like that, the moments that are able to be capitalized on to make you special, I have to do those.
And are there times when you rewatch a game, you feel a little bit differently about some of these situations than in the moment or the immediate aftermath of the game?
You know, I'm a big film guy, so after the game I rewatch everything. And, you know, on the plane, you know, I think if I talked about it with Coach Likens, if that fourth down call, what screwed us was the timeout, I think. In terms of, not screwed us like mentally, I think that if we would have hurried up, went fast, and got it, we would have got the first down. We chose to take a timeout, figure the situation out, which is, it's smart. It's smart to understand where you are on the field, where you are in terms of mental for our guys. So we chose to take a timeout, figure out what the situation was. Do we want to kick a field goal? Do we want to go for it? The numbers were on our side in terms of the percentage of getting the first down, which is a great call. I don't think that it was a bad call to go for it. I just think we would have been in a better position if we would have did something else. And we've talked about that, and we both agreed on it. So.
Washington has a lot of external factors. You have the weather, you have the noise. So how do you kind of keep your team more collected in those situations?
Yeah, I think that obviously getting a little contest here against San Diego State on the road for the first time of this season was good to get under our belt before going to a place like Washington. Washington's personally one of my favorite stadiums to play in, just because the atmosphere is just, it's like unlike any other in college football. It's just a very unique experience. I mean, you got a stadium on the lake, you got, you know, rain here and there, you know, so it's just different than everywhere else, and I think there's a cool environment. So I'm excited for our guys. I think that tomorrow we'll be practicing with in the bubble with the loud noise or whatever, so we'll get used to that. But I mean, I had Roy come up to me today, and he was like, hey man, make sure that when we go out there, you know, in the game, when it's gonna get loud, you gotta come up and talk to them. I'm like, no, this ain't my first rodeo. I understand what to do. So it's we'll be ready to go. Roy. Yeah.
What's it like to play in a big game like that? I mean, how do you make sure you keep it kind of even and not get too keyed up?
Yeah, I haven't gotten too keyed up for a game probably since my first year started, and just because it's just my personality. But it's my job to make sure that I keep everybody level-headed. You know, can't be yelling on the sideline, doing all that extra stuff. So.
You wish you had that bad?
No, I mean, that's who I am. I'm passionate about what I do. I hate losing. You know, and when you're a leader of a football team, when you're a leader of people that are 22 years old, 18 years old, certain people react differently to certain things. When I jump on Frank, it may look like a negative thing to the media. It may look negative on TV, but guess what? Frank Darby reacts differently than Nikhil Harry does. And when you jump on Frank, Frank's like, all right, it's time to go get this bag. I got to do what I got to do now. And he fixes his mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? If you guys didn't tell, Frank had a blow-up game this week, and he played his butt off, and he caught every single ball that came to him, and it's because I told him, get right. And I have complete faith in him. I have faith in everybody that's on the field with me. And when we have mistakes that we practice something over and over and over in practice, and if you mess up in practice and we tell you that this is going to happen in a game and you mess that up in a game, that's a reflection of your preparation. Those that prepare, those that don't prepare get exposed. And you see that on the field when guys mess up. It's because of the lack of preparation.
Passion that you carry with you when you play, was that part of the assessment of the corners after the game?
Yeah, I think professionally that wasn't the correct thing to do. But I mean, just gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not here to be like another quarterback. I'm not here to be Peyton Manning. I'm not here to be Taylor Kelly or all these. You know, that's not who I am. You know, I think professionally it would have been the right thing for me to just obviously give the other team credit. They deserved the win. They played harder. But I'm passionate about what I do. I believe what I say. and it is what it is. Can't go back now.
Coach Edwards said that he doesn't mind emotion so much being shown on the sidelines. He just
The way to go about it.
Well, that and doesn't want it to carry over in the field when it might affect decisions.
Yeah, no, I definitely never did. I never, and when, it's just crazy because the TV copy, man, the TV camera angles, they just get everything the complete wrong way. So like, you know, you see me coming off the field and I'm sitting there. If I start to look like I'm yelling at the O-line, I didn't yell at the O-line once on the sideline. Like when I was yelling towards them on the sideline, I was like, yo, let's get after it. Let's go. You know, we're going into halftime not down anything, 14-14. Let's get this thing rolling. You know, like there's a way I go about everything. And I mean, it is what it is in terms of how people are going to view it from a TV copy. But if you don't know what I'm saying and you don't know how I'm saying it to my teammates, my teammates and my coaches understand who I am and what I represent. So I guess it is what it is. You guys are going to think what you want to think, but you have no idea what I'm saying on the sideline. So if you're going to judge me by that, that's out of my hands, out of my control.
So if they're trying to reach your lips.
What are you talking about?
I think one of the announcers was saying they were trying to read, what you were saying.
Try, go for it. I mean, I just honestly, I just don't care. I handle myself the correct way. I'm passionate about what I do. I hate losing again. I say it again. If I was on the sideline and I wasn't talking to anybody, guess what? You guys will be, why are you so quiet on the sideline? Why are you doing this? Why is that? So there's always going to be, you know, a pro and a con to every situation, and I understand that. So I understood after the game that some people would probably be offended by what I said, and my Twitter is going to blow up and all this stuff, but it is what it is. It comes with playing this position. It comes with playing this sport.
When you saw the replay or the television broadcast showing you yelling, did you think like that looks a little bit worse than what it actually was? Or?
I mean, to the outside eye, of course it's going to look bad. Just because anytime you have a quarterback yelling, but I mean, I can't tell you how many times the players, the quarterbacks that I watch in the league, you see passion from those guys. And because they're established Super Bowl winners and all this stuff, it's, you know, Ryan Tannehill kicking a guy out of the huddle. Guess what? Good job for you doing that, Ryan. You're an NFL quarterback. But if I were to do that, it's why is Manny yelling at his guy? You know what I mean? So it's pro and a con to everything. I'm here for it all.
Does it feel different to lead a 16-play, 63-yard drive versus hitting a 43-yard pass? Does that feel different?
Just in terms of tempo of the game, I think so. Anytime we hit a big shot, just nowadays, man, I'm always like, okay, this might get reviewed just because they review everything nowadays. But my first thought in my head the second we connect one of those is we're going to go fast and we're going to just roll. So I don't really think there is a difference. I mean, I think personally, I think the drive that we had didn't get that 4th and 1. We started at the 4 and we drove all the way down the field. We stayed poised. We did what we had to do, and then we just didn't execute there at the end. But those drives, man, like San Diego State was doing, those 9-minute, 10-minute drives, those kill the defense just because you're keeping those guys on the field, and you know those hurt a defense physically. So.
Getting your ball set part of the reason you came to this program was to learn from you. What does that mean when a guy like that says that?
It's a huge honor. You know, when he first got here, I was hard on him, extremely hard, just because they were hard on me when I got here. So, you know, I really wasn't buddy-buddy with him. When he was laughing in the runs, I was like, dude, cut that shit out, like, lock in. And quickly, I think he realized my demeanor towards this game, my demeanor in the locker room. And I don't want them to be me because, like I said before, you know, no quarterback is the same. But I want them to understand that the way I work, my work ethic, the way I handle myself off the field in the community is definitely something that they should try to emulate and try to be better than. I always tell them, be better than me. If you see me make 2 out of the 3 throws into the net. Go make 3, man. Go be better than me. You don't want to strive to be me, be better than me. And he's done a really good job of just understanding that he needs to be ready at all times, because if his number gets called, he's going to have to go out there. And like I said before, those that don't prepare, they get exposed, and you don't want to be a guy that goes out there and gets exposed.
Going back to last year's game, last year's Washington game.
Yep.
You guys were 2-3, kind of struggling. What was the atmosphere like in the locker room around the team to kind of, what made you guys be like, we're going to not only can win this game, but we're going to win this game, pull off this upset?
You know, I think personally, lately, man, I've just been the vibes and the energy that I get from, it's going to sound weird and cliche, but the vibes and energy that I get from, like, the universe, like, I'm just speaking things to life. So before the season, I told myself, yo, man, I'm going to go out there, try and not turn the ball over at all this year, 0 interceptions, and I haven't really turned the football over. I think I had the 1 interception going into Michigan State at half. You know, man, just trying to make sure everything that I do is just level. And I think that going into last year, we were kind of in a lull, kind of weren't, but we just brought really good energy to practice. We were passionate about the things that we were doing, and the way we practiced paid off because we played well in the game. So I think that was about that. Aaron Rodgers is probably my favorite quarterback in the league. Deshaun Watson, I think our games are pretty similar, you know, and he's a good friend of mine. So watching him is just to see the things that he does. I mean, he's making it look like he's still in college, you know. So those probably 2 are the ones that I watched the most. I watched a lot of Atlanta film this offseason. I watched a lot of Rams film, the things that Jared was doing, because Coach Likens was having some conversations about some concept things that we were doing. So I had a chance to watch a lot of that. And then we watched, what was the other team we watched? I think we watched a little bit of the Panthers. So.
Is there a moment, like a single moment of last year's game that just sticks out to you that you're just always going to want?
CJ's catch, probably the most memorable. Probably the most memorable moment of that game was probably that.
On 4th and 1 play,
Last question.
you looked over there, and Newsom was over there. Was the defender just too tight on him right now? You just didn't feel like that was worth risking that throw?
Yeah, obviously, so the situation was 4th and 1, tie game. I think there was 59 seconds left on the clock. I understand where we're at position-wise of the field, and this is something that I went and talked to the coaches afterwards about, is what is the correct thing for me to do? Do you want me to give our guy a shot, potentially throw an interception across the middle of the field? I mean, the play that really flares out in my mind situational-wise was UCLA 2015, Berkovici. We ran double post with a wheel from the most inside guy, and it was 2 minutes towards the end of the half, and I think we were either tied or up, and they caught a pick 6 and took it, and that changed the complete momentum of the game. So those plays like that stick out to me in terms of taking control of the football, and just sometimes you got to take a L. You know, you gotta take a sack, you gotta turn the ball over to make sure that you're good for the defense or whatever. So I don't know the correct thing is, and you know, we talked about it, is just do the best to just put the ball in somebody's hands or run for the first down. You know, Eno, we were in full max protection, and then, you know, on film you see that late he leaks out. If I just turn my head around, or, you know, just somehow, some way understand that there's grass there and we could be on the same page, where it's just because it's max protection and nobody comes, just get out and sit in a little hole, then I would have flicked him the ball. But, you know, that's why situations like that, you live and you learn and you watch the film and you correct them.